In this video, we want to talk about some introductory concepts concerning the Internet. Now, the Internet is simply a network of networks that spans the entire globe. Nobody owns the Internet, and because of that, the content on the Internet is not really regulated. There's a lot of great stuff on the Internet, and there's some stuff that's not so good. There are a couple of agencies that regulate the infrastructure of the Internet, though. What I mean by that is there are two agencies in particular. The W3C, this group is in charge of kind of setting the standards for all the HTML tags and how HTML works. So when you see a tag like H1 or H2 or any of the behind the scenes HTML tags, those tags have been created and approved by W3C. When you see a tag that might be deprecated, that's no longer used, that's been deprecated for W3C. Now, the reason we need this is because browsers have to know what tags are in and what tags aren't in. So when they make their browsers, the browsers have the ability, to interpret tags that developers are using in the right way. So W3C, they're the ones that make the rules for all the HTML tags and the style sheets and things like that. The Internet Activities Board, also known as the Internet Architecture Board, they design the rules for how things work under the hood as far as how data is sent along the Internet. I mean, it's the Internet Activities Board that's responsible for the underlying protocol of the Internet. So when packets are sent across the Internet, the rules that the packets follow to get to wherever they get to, they're kind of set by the Internet Activities Board. Let me give an example of that. So we always say behind the scenes that the protocol of the Internet is TCP/IP. That's the protocol. Well, what that means is this. Let's suppose that you're going to send an email from your hometown to another place in the United States. You think of your email as this document, right? It's one document you have. It's got maybe 250 words in it, and you're going to send it someplace else. I think of your email as a big puzzle. And then what happens is your email, your puzzle, is broken apart into tiny pieces called packets. And those packets are now sent from your city to another city in the United States or someplace else in the world. And they all take different ways to get there. And then when they arrive at the destination, these pieces of the puzzle, these packets, are now put together to recreate your email. Well, the protocol of the Internet is TCP/IP, and TCP/IP is responsible for that. Now, what's the TCP for? When your email is broken apart into tiny little packets, that's TCP. When your packets travel in a lot of different ways to get to the destination, they all don't take the same way, but the ability of the packets to get to the destination is IP. That's the IP protocol. Now, when the packets get to the destination and they're reassembled, the reassembling of the packets into the email again is TCP. And we like to say that the protocol of the Internet is based on TCP/IP. And these rules and guidelines are sort of set by the Internet Activities Board. So these are the two agencies that sort of regulate the infrastructure of the Internet. Now, what does the Internet, what does it have? Well, the Internet, we use it for communication, we use it for commerce, we use it for file transfer, we use it for the web, right? We use it for games, we use it for entertainment. By the way, the web is something that wasn't always part of the Internet. In the old days, in the 80s, the Internet was sort of a text-based Internet, where you could search different gopher holes and call up text documents, but everything was text in the 80s. In the 90s, we combined text, graphics, sound, pictures, video, animation. We combined them all into this neat thing called the web. But these are the things that really you can do today on the internet. Now, there are some concerns with the internet. The concerns would be the ethical use of the internet, but I have to tell you, the internet has a lot of great stuff on it. The actual use of the internet is really, really mostly good, but there are some bad things. There are some concerns, but those are in anything in life, right? What are those concerns? Well, I guess you could say a concern would be anybody is 2 clicks away from getting to a maybe a site that has pornography or something that's not very good on it, right? Okay, that's a concern. What's another concern? Another concern would be time we actually spend on the internet. There are lots of people that actually have become addicted to being in front of their computer. That's a concern. What's another concern? The concern that maybe we don't understand the damage that bad choices can lead to. I know in Missouri there's a discussion of a suicide that was possibly caused by some activities, some bad choices, we'll say, that people made doing some social media stuff. At Rutgers University, there was a suicide of a student because of or possibly because of a decision that a roommate made concerning privacy issues. So these are concerns that we all have when people make decisions and how to use the internet and social media and things like that. The other concern that we have is for people realizing that things stay on the internet. I mean, once you do something and you post a picture or you post a quote, they stay. They stay forever.